I was sitting at the table with Luigino, and I said to him, I said, Dad, I said, what is the word Brig-entella? I said Brig-entella. I said it like flat, no dexterity. I said Brig-entella. And he goes, I don't know. I go, okay, let me try this one more time. Brig-entella. And he goes, oh. He goes, that's like mischievous. Somebody who's mischievous. Oh, like a scucciatora. Imagine. So I believe, and then in United States, you say like, what's a brigadier? Brigdeer, like a deer in headlights. I mean, it's like knock, knock, knock. Anybody home? So the woman in London in 1943, we were going around with Antonio, and the men of Montoya, the Spaniard Montoya, the Royal Montoya. We stickered the Caton being Antonio Caton for his granddaughter, Nicoleta. We Caton and anoned the word Montoya and Antonio. So in the human, when the light bulb, when you hear the VIN, the light bulb goes off that it is Spaniard, like Royal Spaniard for Antonio, along with Montoya for the Cataruza, for the cartographer, when we were walking with the etymology and the etymology to see what the pairing of the words were for the human throughout Europe, between Yugoslavia, let's put it this way, between the Ottoman and the Hungarian, with the Italian, and then we stopped in Albania, or no, we stopped in Yugoslavia. The royal office was in Albania, but we would not make it there realistically within the allotted time. So I had a representative flown in, I believe, from Albania on my behalf to Yugoslavia. They met us there. So that was for the official records in that time slot. And that's how that works. And we said then that the woman in London that they were thinking of seating, that they were not supposed to have an option. The only option was Antonin by Italian and Romania, and then it was Maria was the only choice for London. London, that's how we pronounce it, London, not London. London is like, it's wince. That's how I feel about Manhattan, is every time I look at it, I'm like, oh, God. And that's why on the Big Apple, for the Big Apple circus that we were watching, and Mickey sticker booking for the future police of the world, they had 54th Street was Senor without the I. So it's not senior, it's Senor, Senor, Senor. And then it is a different wince, because it's not W-I-N, because nobody was winning. It was more like wince, like, oh, God, W-E-N-C-E. But if you spell it backwards, it's sec-new. It's the new section. N-E-W-S-E-C. You'd have to be, I guess, Hebrew or Arabic, because they read from the right to the left directionals. The English and the Latin languages read from the left to the right. So you have to be multi-ambidextrous in order to catch some of these symbols. All right, so so the Brig-entella is what London is, with Elizabeth with her fancy whatever, and their group of men that confuse the world as far as English goes and what it means. They got a little fancy, because I used to say the afterlife, but I was speaking as Barat. Barat meaning that life is continuous for me in its everlasting life. So the after, the point of after, it might come before or after. The word after does not mean what your what your brain keeps telling you. In succession of human, they think like, okay, so my father, I come after my father. I suppose you could say that because that's what you say in English, and then they believe it. But the thing is that the afterlife is what we used to say when you are no longer on this earth, when you're no longer of this earth, of what you see here, you go into a afterlife program. It's the only way I can explain it. So when before I was coming on the way in, I was hanging out in the afterlife program, doing whatever I do when I'm not full-time human. And the Elizabeth Brig-entella, the mischievous one, and her men, as soon as her cunt sat on the fucking chair, it was like Queen Anne's Revenge. It was, she started, well, how do I know what after? I mean, she comes after I do. Her life comes after mine. I come before, so I must be more important. No, don't play those logic games, stupid, because you're going to break the world. Oh, look, like that's what she did. So that was where the falcon and the fallacy started having problems. Because a little cunt human, being Elizabeth, and her sphincter London, the Brig-entellas of all of Western Europe and Russia and America and Canada, and then everything below the equatorial line, was like, wait a minute, why are you told us it was going to be this. I said, no, and it is this. Why is it? Did it change? And they said, yes, this is what it changed. Then everything, as soon as she took that fucking spot, like at the end of Edward, the beginning of Elizabeth, it was just like, holy hell. And you know that we told you, the amount of letters and numbers in any form of light equipment makes it difficult to keep humans safe. So why did you issue, like the birth certificates hitting the documentation system was bad enough with the variety of catalog names you have to give these things, but then you wanted to give them all phone numbers and then ask that quantum string attach these things at whatever the human wants, like as if the gods now work for the humans. You have really fucked things up, and we told you that before I was born. We were watching, we had an eye on the future from the afterlife, and we said, listen to me, there's something very dangerous coming up. You have a gigantic flood. I think the TOR-AH people, we told, not the Mazerattis, what are they called? The I don't know. There's some fancy, they have, I can't read it in English, but I think they did that purposely. I said, listen, whatever your special Torah language and names are, I said, keep that secret away from my falcon and fallacy that I'm working on in the English linguistics with the fucking cunt who sat herself in my chair. I said, you'll know what your names are, and you can speak to, I don't know, the other children of the world. The problem is with not the Torah, but I call you the Torah people because I'm the infinity loop, and you got the name Tor as in the God of infinity, and I see, right, because you are some of the smartest people on the planet, so you get the TOR-AH, I see, that of information. So we gave you King David, yes, King David, Star David, hello, and then I got the Russian, yeah, I got the da, and I got the vid, I got the V, and then I got the alien extraterrestrial V, and then I've got the ID. Right? Great. I'm King David. Right. Nice to meet you. And so is Nicholas. It is the SOLO-MON, the Mon with the Mongols, the monopoly, and those are the human economy people and the economy class that we try to protect from the afterlife and like extra specials. But I have a problem in cunt sitting in a Brig-entella seat in London that speaks English and leads her little sphincter island of where's floating in the Sea of Tranquility, while my Torah people in Jerusalem, the Salem witch trial down there, and the Gaza Strip of my Arabics that I like, they're having a problem. It has to do with me and the Brig-entella that you see on the non-Spaniard, whatever she's got up there. I don't know who she belongs to. She's not ours. In fact, what happened is while they were building the inner sanctum, which is extraterrestrial, not skinned human, which is where I prefer to be in what I call creature comforts, my creature comfort station, I was the only, Niklaus and I are the only two humans allowed in that inner sanctum. We were building the human inner sanctum for the gigantic wall, and then the nice flood, like the slow pedicure kind. But then the London all of a sudden popped into our like space, and we're like, wait a minute, who invited that? And then all of a sudden we had to oust Niklaus and my bloodline for this cunt that we did not invite, and we did not say she was royal. So Antonine got knocked out of family branch along with Mariah because somebody brought Elizabeth into the creature comfort station of Inner Sanctum, which is not located on Earth. It's like the kind of the control room where you can pause things on humans because we have to like watch you carefully. Nobody trusts a human. Do you understand? Some of you might, some of you, I don't know, like Han Solo, like he gets it, but I don't, and Gustav, Miguel, Montoya being Antonine, and Antonio, they get it. I don't know why the cunt in London and all of her sphincter people have done nothing to help me at all in America since I've been here. And then the two gentlemen that you sent, there was one, then there was two, then there was one again. It was not confusing for me. But it warped in I was moving through the sequence almost like a grease, like it looks like when you take a photo and then you move the camera and it like greases the photo, like a quick shot, but the lens can't be fast enough. Yeah, that's what it looked like. And then it was still, again, a still photo of what your gravity looks like. And then it slides again. It's a grafting move from my side, but I'm not supposed to use the bullhorn to go, hello, Bull Moose Party, Third Reich. I think that we had you then. Do we have a Fourth Reich? How about the Fifth? I'll go for Fifth. Fifth Reich anywhere? I don't know. It's like, I'll take auction numbers at this point. Somebody help me. This is ridiculous.